question.
Yes.
Since that's as good for you as Hadacol, how often
It's as good for you as what?
Hadacol? I'm sorry, you don't have as old as I am. We had an English teacher, our school member, Steve Nielsen, was in one of our classrooms,
Okay.
and he had this reading about Hadacol, and it would fix everything.
Oh,
And
okay.
so I figured
Pumpkin is,
I'm close to that.
it does, sounds like it.
And so what I was wondering is how often should you use it in once a day, once a week, once a month?
I would say once a day or every other day. I mean, I think to get my theory is if you could shove in 5 vegetables a day, you probably wouldn't have any health problems at all. And if you could make one of those pumpkin, or every other day one of those pumpkin, I think it would be such a noticeable, incredible thing. And our diets, you know, you look at the word of wisdom, and it's in the season thereof, and we probably eat a lot more pumpkin in the fall than we do. But I really think if you stick it in the freezer, you know, we have the ability to freeze it, that we didn't before. So if you can put it in the freezer and use it all year long, it's going to be a ton better. All right, you girls, quit your giggling.
I think about the pumpkin and the good stuff. I'm just happy.
All right. So there's a couple of ways to do a pumpkin, and it just depends on what kind of mess you want. This is going to be a mess this way. When you do it in the microwave, so you know, does everybody cook, you know, like stuff in the microwave, beets, potatoes, stuff like that? Do you cook that in the microwave? No. Oh, you're going to really like it. I'm sorry. So, this was one of those matte pumpkins, and I just seeded it, stuck it in this bag, twisted it up, put it upside down, you know, so that it doesn't open, and nuked it for like 15 minutes. Probably this much. I had more in there than this, but if it was just this much, like 10 or 7 would be fine. Microwave it. It comes out very steamy done. If you can do beets, like, I don't know how many of you boil beets, but beets boiled is a big mess on the stove and takes forever. They're about 8 minutes in the microwave. And you do the same thing. Put them in one of these wonderful Walmart bags or whatever that your pick, and do it. So the difference in that I found doing these pumpkins in different ways is the moisture content. So the only difference, the moisture content's huge in a pumpkin pie. The reason being that if you have a sloppy pumpkin, you're going to have to back off on the milk a little bit, just because the sloppy is what takes time to cook. So by then, and you'll see, so my mom's oven was struggling. I did it at my mom's house, and it was struggling, so some of those crusts are really, really done. But if you have to cook that pumpkin longer, you test it in the center and it's not done, you have to go longer, your crust is saying, ah! Yeah. I mean, you just overdo the crust. So to get a crust not overdone, a thicker pumpkin helps you achieve that. Okay, so, well, I'm just going to put this on here. So I just got this pumpkin. I didn't bring a spoon up. Vanna has a spoon for me. Yeah. Yeah, so.
Lori, how long do you bake that? And you don't seed it or anything, you just put the whole thing in?
No, you break the top off. You break the top off so that there's a hole, so they don't drain. Turn it upside down, because there was a lot of drain in this pan. It's evaporated because I left it in there. But anyways, you drain it, and then anyways, if it didn't drain, if you didn't get now this is just a regular old jack-o'-lantern, which isn't the very best pie pumpkin at all. But, thank you. And some of these, if it's really hot, the skin will just peel right off.
How long did you bake that one?
Okay, so my mom put hers in the oven all the time, like way longer than I do, and I don't know how. This one was 6 hours
At what temperature?
at 300. I can't still, for the life of me, tell any difference. Well, okay, so there was a difference in moisture content. When you do it in the oven, it's not as liquidy as if you do it in the microwave. The microwave still has all the juice in it. And this one's still pretty juicy. So to get the juice out of it, no matter whether you did it here or in the microwave, okay, I'm doing this really fast, but you could do it a little better.
Lori,
Yeah.
she has a great idea.
Okay.
Why not put the whole thing in your pressure cooker and bring it up to,
In a pressure cooker?
yeah, in a great big canning pressure cooker. I bet it goes super fast.
Yeah, I bet it would. I bet you could do it in a pressure cooker. Yeah. So when I do it in the microwave, I haven't ever done it whole in the microwave, just because I really don't know if it's going to blow up or what it'll do. So I don't do it whole in the microwave. But I do just cut it up, and the microwave is super fast. And when you taste the pumpkins back there, so I have a taste, oh, that's the other thing about that table. There's little toothpicks there, and I have the actual pureed pumpkin that I used in the pie. So take a toothpick and taste those little purees. I mean, they're just pumpkins, so they're not anything delicious, but you can tell the difference between them. So taste those, and you'll be able to tell the difference in the flavor of the pumpkin just raw, just good old pumpkin without anything in it. Okay, so then, after you get it out of there, then I just take, you can put it in your blender if you're more comfortable with that. And then, I didn't bring anything right for that. You're going to want to drain it. And you will probably get a cup of liquid off of that. So that's going to be your secret in, I mean, look at already, look at it. And that was the cooked pumpkin. Oh, I know what I didn't do. When you do a cooked pumpkin, you need to poke the end after it's done, or poke it underneath when it's done, and then it'll help a lot of that water drain off before you even get it to this point. But I usually do this anyway, so it doesn't bother me if it drains out before. And drain it for a couple hours, or overnight, or whatever, stick it in the fridge like that, and just let it drain, and then you'll have a lot better solid puree.
I think you just throw that in the freezer.
Yes, and then stick it in a baggie, label it, and put it in the freezer. A freezer baggie. Yes.
I had a friend at work that thought you had to peel the pumpkin before you cooked it.
Oh.
That was really hard. She
That's
learned the first time though, all you have to do is cut it up and put it in a pan with some water on the stove and cook it. Now
You can do it in the stove like that, you can do it in the oven like that. The oven browns it a little bit, and so you have these little crusties kind of on it, and you don't get that in the microwave.
Well, I like the oven to cook my squash in.
To
Because,
eat, if you're gonna eat.
well, to eat, and then what's left over, I just measure it in 2 cups and put it in a bag and put it in the fridge. Because usually 2 cups is what I need to make cookies with, or.
And that's
most
exactly,
anything
I'm glad
I
you
do.
said that. That's what I should have said, is that's 2 cups is what most of your recipes are, is 2 cups of pumpkin. And so that's the same as a small can.
But you could do pumpkin squash, you can do sweet meat squash. It all tastes the same, especially when you're making cookies.
Yeah.
So,
So, did you also know that you can use pumpkin? So, the other thing on here was to implement, how do we use pumpkin more? How do we get that every day or every other day in our diet? You can use pumpkin instead, like you do applesauce in baking recipes instead of butter and oil. You can use pumpkin puree instead of butter and oil in baking recipes. So use it that way. I mean, if you have it in the freezer, you'll use it. And I think that's, I'm not gonna go think I'm gonna cook cookies and I'm gonna use that and I'm gonna go cook, pumpkin and cook it first and, do all that stuff. You have to have it in the freezer already or you're not gonna use it. So, okay. Rhonda.
Okay, I'm being passed.
You're fine.
Okay, I'm being passed.
Lori,
Yeah.
how much would you use to replace oil and butter
Oh, I don't know.
in a recipe?
Equal parts, isn't it?
I think it is.
Is it?
No.
Is it more?
or even half.
A little more?
I use half and half.
So half butter and half, let's say it had a cup of butter, you put a half a pumpkin, half a cup of pumpkin, and half a cup of butter. Do you notice a difference if you go full pumpkin? I haven't.
I haven't ever done them.
Full pumpkin, okay.
You're gonna get to taste full pumpkin tonight.
Weight Watchers thing is one.
It's right there.
One pumpkin, that's it.
Yeah.
No
So,
other, add nothing.
so I'm gonna give you some ideas about, and I did a lot of pumpkin cooking. A lot of pumpkin cooking. We've been cooking pumpkin at our house now because, hooray for me, my kitchen finally got finished. So that I could start, experimenting upon the word. And so I have been experimenting a lot with pumpkin. I wanted to find ways to get you to use pumpkin. We have a fabulous pumpkin waffle recipe, but we never make it because it just has tons of ingredients, We're used to, we want waffles, let's just pull out the Crusties, and they're done it that fast and we don't have to cook. And so I experimented and have a recipe for you how to use Crusties and make waffle. And I put the whole big recipe there. I was going to do that for you, but because of time, I'm not going to make it. I'll make it once we get done. Okay, then I just want to walk around with you and show you what I made.